Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle Gallant back from the video, and today I'm going to do my NFL Week 3 picks. Last week I went 14-2 overall, 26-6 there, and this is the second week I actually beat Beast Picks there. The second week I actually beat Beast Picks in picks. So let's get on to the picks there. So first on the list there, we got Thursday Night Football, September 18th. 6:15 Mountain Time, Prime Video. We got the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Going with the Bills here to win. The Bills look really, really strong there. I think they can actually do something with Josh Allen. Allen looks really, really strong in this game here. I think this game is mostly going to be possibly going to be one-sided there. The Dolphins there, they can't get nothing fully going there. The Dolphins can't get nothing fully going. They look really, really bad there in Week 1 against the Colts there. They got their ass handed by the Colts, but mostly kept up with the Patriots there. But they're going to mostly actually going to have the same struggles there. I think they're going to actually have the same struggles against the Bills. The Bills are going to fucking just kick their fucking teeth in here because the Bills look really, really good there, and I think they can actually do something against this Dolphins team. This Dolphins team is ass. So I'm going to say Bills over Dolphins. Bills, I think this is a one-sided. I think Bills might walk all over the Dolphins in this game. So I'm going to say Bills over Dolphins. So let's move on to Sunday, September 21st, 11 o'clock Mountain Time. First on the 11 o'clock games, we've got the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns. So this game, I think this game is going to be possibly one-sided there. This is also my domination of the week there. I'm going with Green Bay here. Green Bay is going to get the domination of the week here. Because the Browns there with Joe Flacco, I don't really trust. Mostly Joe Flacco can't really throw the ball there. He can't really execute it. The Browns are not really doing that well on throwing the ball and running the ball there. They look really bad on both sides of the ball. Technically, the Packers there with Michael Parsons there, with that Packers defense there, it's going to give Joe Flacco a really hard time in this game. He's going to give him a really hard time in this game there. He's massively going to pressure them and stuff. Jordan Love there, who honestly is starting to look really, really great there, with Josh Jacobs as the running back there. This game here, I mostly have to say this there. This is going to be the game like what Miami put us in Week 3 in 2023. This is going to be the game where Miami beat us in 2023, like giving us that 70 burger. This is what the Packers are going to do. The Packers are going to put that 70 burger on to Cleveland. Cleveland is going to get the 70 burger in this game because I just do not see what the Browns actually going to have in this game there and stuff. So technically, I think I'm going with the Packers here to win. This is going to be a slaughter, and I think that they're going to dominate both sides of the ball there. And I think, this game is going to be mostly a domination. So I'm going to say this is going to be I'm going to say Packers win in a big margin. So I'm going to say Packers over Browns. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Going with the Colts here to win. I think the Colts there look really, really strong there. They look a really strong team there, and I think they look really, really solid there. Mostly they did have some struggles last week against us there. Mostly technically upsetting us last week. They technically did upset us last week there, and actually mostly put us in a really close fashion game here. Daniel Jones there, he's starting to look like a much better quarterback there than he did in the last couple of years. So, yeah, I think he might look really good in this game here against the Titans. Titans there, I do not trust there because they are starting a rookie quarterback there. The rookie quarterback is going to actually have some struggles here. Even if it's a home game for the Titans, I do not see the Titans possibly winning this game there. They're going to massively struggle here. And going against this Colts team, who honestly looks pretty elite right now, they're mostly gonna have massive struggles going against the Colts. So I'm gonna say the Colts win it here against the Titans. So that's it for that game. So let's move on to the next game there. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Minnesota Vikings. Joe Burrow is out of this game. Joe Burrow's out of this game there. Technically, the backup quarterback there for Cincy is going to be playing there. For the Bengals, are going to be playing there. They're going to play a backup quarterback there. No. This game could go any other way because Joe Burrow is technically out. It's going to be possibly going to be a really slippery slope for them going into this week there. But I'm going to say the Bengals pull it out here and win this one. I do not trust J.J. McCarthy there. I just do not trust him at all. J.J. McCarthy is going to have massive struggles there. He's not going to look the best there, and he's going to have some struggles there with the game there. For the Bengals there, they're starting a backup quarterback, so it's going to be backup versus rookie in a way, even if it's second year, rookie in a way because he didn't play last year. So I'm going to say Bengals win it. I just do not trust J.J. McCarthy at this point. So yeah, that's it for that game there. Let's go on to the next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. I'm going with the Steelers here to win. I think the Steelers can actually do something here against this Patriots team. This Patriots team, it's starting to turn themselves around with Drake May. Drake May actually shows how good of a quarterback he actually really is. But the Steelers there, they got embarrassed last week. And I think they want to rebound there, get that bad taste out of their mouth, mostly playing against Seattle last week there and technically losing against Seattle. They mostly want to get that bad taste out of their mouth there. So this week they're going against the Patriots might be a pretty good opportunity for the Steelers to win it here. Aaron Rodgers there, he's mostly going to play in this game. So Rodgers is possibly going to maybe do some damage here in this game here against this Pats team. But this Pats team is not really. They're mostly like a little bit of a threat there. So I'm gonna say Steelers win it over Patriots. Next game, we got the LA Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Going with the Eagles here to win. I think the Eagles look really, really sharp there. They actually have Jalen Hurts there, who honestly will mostly use the ball and using his legs there. I think he can actually use his legs there in this game. I think they can actually do something here. The Eagles look really, really strong there. They beat Kansas City last week in a really close matchup there. They actually beat Kansas City in a really close matchup there. And mostly the Rams there, they're starting to become a team there who honestly is starting to actually find themselves there. They look really, really good there. And I think they can actually do something in this game here going against this Eagles team. This Eagles team's really good. This Eagles team's really good there. So I'm going to say the Eagles win it here against the Rams, but it might be pretty close here. It might be a really close game, but I'm going to say Eagles win it over Rams. Next game, we got the Jets. We have the New York Jets at the Tampa Bucks. Going with the Bucks here to win. I think the Bucks there look really, really sharp, and I think they can actually do something here against this Jets team. This Jets team doesn't look the best there. They got their ass kicked last week against Buffalo. Buffalo kicked their ass there last week, and mostly it just shows they technically came back down to earth there. And I think Tampa's going to mostly kick the... I think Tampa looks really good there with Mayfield there. He looks really solid there. I think he can do something against this Jets team. This Jets team is not that good there. Even if they actually have... Justin Fields playing, even if Justin Fields is actually playing in this game, I think they're going to struggle against the... I think they're massively going to struggle shoot. I'm thinking they're massively going to struggle against the Jets, or the Jets are going to massively going to struggle against the Bucks. So I'm going to say Bucks win it over Jets. That's it for that game. So we'll move on to the next game. Next game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go with the Commanders. The Commanders there look really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually do something against this Haters team. This Haters team got blown out by the Chargers last week. They technically got blown out by the Chargers last week, so they're not going to, they're not going to find their, step here. The Commanders there, I'm mostly going to trust the Commanders here. The Commanders are kind of pissed off from, losing against the Packers last week. And I think they're going to find their revenge here against the Haters. Jaden Daniels there, if he didn't play that well last week there, I think he's going to bounce back in this game there, going against the Haters. And I think he's going to try to find his footing there. So I'm going to say the Commanders win it over the Haters. That's it for that game. Moving on to the next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Going with the Falcons here to win. Panthers are ass. Panthers can't do nothing there. I think this is going to be a possibly one-sided here. But the Falcons there, they actually have a lot more depth here. They actually have more depth here. And over the Panthers. Panthers are just god-awful. They are just that fucking bad there. They just can't fully get nothing fully going there. They're going to actually have massive struggles there in this game. But I'm going to say Falcons win it over the Panthers. So let's go down to the next game there. We got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know. This game could be a coin flip. This game could be a coin flip here. But give me the Jaguars to win it here. I think the Jaguars actually have a much better roster there in the Texans there. I do not trust the Texans. I do not trust the Texans coaching staff. I do not trust the Texans coaching staff at all. The Texans coaching staff is massively going to struggle there against this Jaguars team. This Jaguars team is a little bit better there, and I think they can actually do something against this Texans team. This Texans team, I do not trust the Texans at all. I do not trust the Texans at all there. Even if they did put up a good fight against the Bucs last week there, they're gonna have some massive struggles there going against this. I don't know. This is a coin flip. This is a coin flip of a game. I'm going to say the Jaguars. I'm going to go with the safe pick and say the Jaguars win it here. But this is mostly like a safe pick here and not a pick there. It was not. It's mostly a safe pick. It's mostly a safe pick right there. So I'm going to say Jaguars win it there. That's the safe. That's it for the 11 o'clock game. So let's move on to the 2:05 games, Mountain Time. First on the 2:05, we got my Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. This game here, I'm going to go with this game is going to be a pretty interesting matchup here, but I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win. I think my Broncos can actually do something here. Well, mostly we went against Indianapolis last week there, and we technically lost against Indianapolis. So I think we're going to be pretty pissed off in this game here. And I think we're going to try to bounce back against in that awful loss there we actually had. The game was pretty close there. We kept the Colts in line there. So technically the Chargers there are mostly going to run into a pretty strong defense there, because even if they beat up the Chiefs and beat up the Haters the last 2 weeks, they're going to actually run into a brick wall when they actually see our defense. Our defense was actually keeping up with the Colts there, and our offense was technically keeping up with the Colts, not our defense. Our defense didn't do really that much last week, but our offense did something a lot. We actually moved on the Colts there last week, so this is going to be a pretty interesting battle there from the offenses there with Bo Nix and Justin Herbert. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight here with Bo Nix and Justin Herbert in this game. This game is going to be close. I think no matter what, this game is going to be massively close. But I'm going to say my Broncos pull up technically win this one. I'm gonna go with my Broncos to win this one here, and it's gonna be a interesting game. I think it's gonna be closer than people think, and that's why I think it's gonna be closer than people think, and I think my Broncos are gonna win it. So I'm gonna go with my Broncos here to win over the Chargers. That's it for that game. Let's move on to the next game. We have the New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. Going with the... Honestly, this is mostly a shit bowl of the week. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks here to win, even if I don't really trust both teams here. Seahawks are not really doing that well. Saints are not really doing that well. You're talking about both teams here are not really doing that well. But mostly this is another safe pick here. This is mostly shit bowl of the week. Honestly, this is shit bowl of the week. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here to win. I think the Seahawks can actually do something here with their quarterback there, and they looked really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually do something against the Saints there. The Saints there, they're not even going to try. They're trying to go after the number one pick at this point there. It's kind of obvious the Saints are actually going for the number one pick at this point here. So I'm going to say Seahawks win it here over Saints. That's it for the 205. So we're on to the 225 Mountain Time. First on the 225, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Chicago Bears. Going with the Cowboys here to win. I think the Cowboys look really, really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually do something there against this Bears team. This Bears team is massively struggling there, and I do not believe that the Bears are actually going to try to beat this Cowboys team. The Cowboys actually kept up with the Giants last week. I think they can actually do something there with Dak Prescott. I think Prescott's going to find his targets in this game here and actually tear this Bears defense apart. And I think he's going to try to do that there in this game. So I'm going to say the Cowboys win it here. I think the Cowboys win it here over the Bears. That's it for that game there. Let's move on to the next game. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Going with the Cardinals here to win. I think the Cardinals actually look much better with the team this year. They look really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually do something against this Niners team. The Niners there are banged up. The Niners are super banged up there. They're really, really banged up there. I think that injury bug is really affecting them there, and it's really plaguing them. So technically, they're going to it's going to be technically going to be backups versus starters at this point. This game's technically going to be backups versus starters. I'm going to say the Cardinals win it here because I think the Cardinals actually have a better team there, and the Niners do. So I'm going to say Cardinals win it over Niners. That's it for the 225 games. So on to Sunday Night Football, 6:20 Mountain Time, primetime NBC. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Giants. This game's really a shit bowl. Or technically, I don't know why this is on prime time. This game is on prime time. This should have been moved up to the 2:30 slot and let the Broncos. I think they should have just let the Broncos and Chargers game on prime time because that's going to be an interesting match. This one, it's not going to be an interesting match. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs here to win. I think the Chiefs actually have a little bit more advantage over. I mostly might trust Patrick Mahomes over Russell Wilson any day in the week. Technically, even if the Giants actually put up some numbers there against the Cowboys last week there, the Chiefs there, they're trying to look for their first win. I think they're trying to look for their first win here. So I'm going to say Kansas City wins it here against the Giants. I do not trust the Giants at all. I just do not trust them at all there. So I'm going to say Chiefs over Giants. That's it for the Sunday games. So we'll move on to Monday Night Football, September 22nd, 6:15 Mountain Time, primetime, ABC and ESPN. We got the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the Ravens here to win. Ravens look really sharp there. I think they can actually get fully going there. I do not trust the Lions at all in this game, but this game is going to be massively close. This game is going to be possibly going to be close, but I'm mostly trusting more to the Ravens here over the Lions. So, yep. So I'm going to go with the Ravens over the Lions. So, yep. Comment, rate, my response to Tuesday Bros. We like left Bros. Please subscribe. Hit the bell notification to see uploads and live streams. Car response to Tuesday Bros. Like out.